It's midnight and you're watching Nightline. I'm Anita. The top stories. European thinkers want Malaysia to formulate strategies in combating Islamophobia. And nearly 1 billion ringgit in drug-related properties seized. We begin with this headlining story. European Islamic thinkers and scholars have proposed that Malaysia take the initiative to formulate effective strategies in combating Islamophobia. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said this was discussed during his meeting with them in Berlin, Germany. According to Anwar, among those involved in the meeting were thinkers and scholars from the International Institute of Islamic Thought, or IIIT, the Arab World Institute, and the Middle East and Mediterranean Research Centre, SERMOM. In a post on his official Facebook page, the Prime Minister said that they discussed and exchanged views on several issues, including the role of scholars and new challenges arising from rampant Islamophobia in Europe in the present day. He added that during the meeting, they also discussed the steps that needed to be taken to address these issues, especially in the West. Anwar also expressed his commitment to continue as one of the main drivers in combating Islamophobia. Meanwhile, Anwar performed Friday prayers at the Al-Noor Mosque in Hamburg's Horn district in Germany. Upon arrival at the mosque, the Prime Minister and his delegation were received by Muslim Council of Germany Vice Chairman Daniel Abdin, who is also the mosque chairman. Also on hand to greet him was the mosque's Imam Sheikh Samir El Rajab. Anwar, in a brief speech to the congregation, told them of his recent meeting with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz and how he had relayed the concerns of the Muslim community on a host of issues and was glad that they were accepted. Daniel then said they were honoured by the Prime Minister's visit, which was all the more significant as it fell on the first Friday of Ramadan. Anwar also presented some donations to the mosque and 11 copies of the Al-Quran, one special edition and 10 copies of English translations. There are around 5.5 million Muslims in Germany, including 140,000 living in Hamburg. The Prime Minister, who was on a 6-day official visit to Germany since March 10th, is scheduled to attend several programs in the port city before departing for Malaysia. Malaysia has successfully seized properties valued at 990 million ringgit related to drug crime since 2019. Home Minister Datuk Seri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail said law enforcement agencies have diligently dismantled a total of 98 clandestine laboratories and apprehended 351 individuals involved in such illicit activities. Speaking at the high-level segment of the 67th session of the United Nations Commission on Narcotic Drugs in Vienna, Austria on Thursday, Saifuddin also highlighted Malaysia's commitment to combating drug trafficking, corruption and organised crime. He also said that in controlling the movement of drugs and psychotropic substances into and out of the country, a total of 16,685 import and export authorizations or permits were issued from 2020 until last year. He added that the proactive approach also addressed the challenges posed by the emergence of new drugs and new psychoactive substances, or NPS, ensuring robust control measures were in place to mitigate their proliferation and potential harm. The minister also stated that Malaysia pledged to enhance international and regional cooperation in countering the world drug problem in accordance with its international and regional treaties obligations and the country's anti-drug strategic plan 2021 to 2025. In the meantime, police arrested 6 individuals, including 2 Thai couples, in separate raids last Wednesday on suspicion of being involved in a drug smuggling and trafficking syndicate from a neighbouring country. Selangor Police Chief Dato' Hussein Omar Khan said the seizures involved 90.4 kilograms of ganja and 1.5 litres of ketum liquid, valued at 281,000 ringgit during the operation. The first arrest involved 2 local men suspected of being drug mules who were apprehended by the roadside in Subang Jaya. The suspects were believed to be transporting ganja using a pickup truck.
Hasil pemeriksaan dalam kereta tersebut telah menjumpai 40 ketulan mampat disyaki dadah jenis ganja anggaran berat 40.1 kilogram. Hasil soal siasat dijalankan, pihak polis juga telah pergi ke sebuah rumah di kawasan Ampang Jaya serta berjaya merampas sebanyak 50 ketulan mampat disyaki dadah jenis ganja.
During the raid in Ampang Jaya, police also arrested 4 Thai nationals, including 2 women, believed to be the masterminds of the syndicate, and seized 1.5 litres of Katum liquid. Initial investigations revealed that the local suspects had prior criminal records related to drugs and crime, while the 2 foreign male suspects tested positive for amphetamine and methamphetamine. Police also seized a Toyota Alphard worth 120,000 ringgit and 6 pieces of jewellery worth 33,000 ringgit. The modus operandi of the syndicate was to bring in the drug supply using locals as transporters, while the 2 Thai couples would later enter the country as tourists in private vehicles using social visit passes. The drugs were stored in the homestay that had been rented earlier before being trafficked around the Klang Valley. All the suspects, aged between 26 and 32, have been remanded for a week to assist investigations under the Dangerous Drugs Act.
Charging the future. With Malaysia setting a bold target to generate 70% of energy from renewables by 2050, how does the renewable energy industry strategize and innovate as it navigates towards achieving this ambitious goal? Money Matters with Managing Director of Gading Kencana Sdn Bhd, Dato Dr. Engineer Muhammad Guntur Mansur Tobing, this Saturday at 5 p.m. on TV3 and stream on Tonton.
Still on Nightline. Police recorded 1,999 accidents and 12 fatalities nationwide on Thursday. The Federal Traffic Investigation and Enforcement Department, or JSPT, revealed these numbers on its social media on Friday. In a statement on Friday, Bukit Aman JSPT Director Datuk Muhammad Azman Sapri said the police intended to publish the data in order to raise awareness among road users about the seriousness of daily road accidents. The move kicks off a police effort to publish by 2 p.m. daily the accident statistics of the previous day. Muhammad Azman also urged all road users to always follow traffic rules and laws. Earlier this month, Transport Minister Anthony Loke said the police would reveal road accident data daily to increase awareness about the high number of road fatalities. He also stated that road accidents were the 4th highest cause of deaths in Malaysia, recording 6,443 deaths last year. After 9 days, the final victim of the March 7th boat capsize incident in Sungai Batang Baleh, Kapit, Sarawak, was found drowned on Friday. The body of 28-year-old Constable Iskandar Ibrahim was discovered floating by members of the public in the Teluk Sebutin area at around 11:30 a.m. State Police Commissioner Datuk Mancha Atta said the victim's body was found about 7 kilometres downstream from the location of the incident. According to him, the victim's remains are currently at Kapit Hospital with a post-mortem scheduled to be conducted on Monday. Once the examination and other procedures are completed, the body will be flown for burial arrangements in his hometown in Kelantan. It was reported previously that the incident occurred when a boat carrying 5 individuals capsized in Sungai Batang Baleh near the SK Lepong Baleh jetty at about 5 p.m. on March 7th. 1 person was rescued by civilians, while 4 others, including 2 policemen, were swept away by strong currents. At the time of the incident, both policemen, including Iskandar, were en route from Kuching to Nangatuli, Kapit, escorting an explosive material weighing 35 kilograms. Residents in Lahad Datu, Sabah were left shocked after a tornado-like phenomenon happened on Friday afternoon. At least 2 buildings were damaged by the strong winds, which occurred at Jalan Segama Industrial Estate, Batu Satu. District Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Rohan Shah Ahmad confirmed the incident, saying that police personnel were dispatched to the scene at 2:40 p.m. According to witnesses, the incident occurred at around 1:30 p.m. and happened quickly within no more than 60 seconds. Several videos depicting the phenomenon were also circulated on social media, believed to have been uploaded by members of the public in the area. Video clips showed strong winds resembling a tornado swirling around and blowing away the zinc roofing of some buildings. Fortunately, there were no casualties. The police also did not receive any reports relating to the incident from the public. Scores killed after migrant boat sinks off Turkey's coast. News from the foreign front when we return. Don't go away.
Jom sambut Ramadan ini melalui rancangan-rancangan penuh ilmu dan hikmah istimewa di TV3.
Dengan penuh iman dan wahtisaban, penuh keimanan bersungguh-sungguh, ikhlas, ghufir.
Di luar Ramadan, Allah turun ke langit dunia pada setiap malam, iaitu sepertiga malam.
Mungkin satu ketika akan memberikan padah pada kita kalau kita tidak mengawal.
Saksikan di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Charging the future. With Malaysia setting a bold target to generate 70% of energy from renewables by 2050, how does the renewable energy industry strategize and innovate as it navigates towards achieving this ambitious goal? Money Matters with Managing Director of Gading Kencana Sdn Berhad, Dato' Dr. Engineer Muhammad Guntur Mansur Tobing, this Saturday at 5 p.m. on TV3 and stream on Tonton.
We're back with news on the foreign front. At least 21 Palestinians have been killed after Israeli forces opened fire on thousands of people waiting for aid in Gaza City, in the same area that was targeted just hours earlier. Gaza Health Ministry has described the attack as a new, premeditated massacre, saying more than 150 people were wounded. According to reports, the Zionist regime had used helicopters, tanks and drones to target thousands of people waiting on food trucks. It was the latest in a string of assaults on people desperately in need of food and other essential supplies as Israel continues to obstruct and severely control the entry of aid into the enclave. The regime, however, denied that its forces had opened fire on the crowds and claimed instead that armed Palestinians were responsible for the attack. To date, at least 31,490 Palestinians have been killed since the beginning of the Zionist rampage. Israeli authorities have blocked thousands of Palestinians in the occupied West Bank on Friday from reaching the Al-Aqsa Mosque in occupied East Jerusalem for prayers during the Muslim holy month of Ramadan. Only around 80,000 worshippers made it to the holy site for the first Friday prayers of Ramadan. Thousands more Palestinians, however, were denied entry to occupied East Jerusalem, where a heavy Israeli security presence surrounds the mosque. According to Secretary General of the Palestinian National Initiative, more than 95% of all Palestinians are prohibited from reaching the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Only men over the age of 55 or women over the age of 50 are allowed to enter the mosque, and all must have a valid permit, making the site, which is the third holiest site in Islam, inaccessible to the vast majority of Palestinians. In the meantime, Hamas has presented a new ceasefire plan to end Israel's war on Gaza that includes the release of Israeli captives in exchange for Palestinian prisoners, 100 of whom are serving life sentences. It was understood that it would be a three-phased ceasefire, with each stage lasting 42 days. In the first stage, Hamas said Israeli forces must withdraw from al-Rashid and Salah al-Din streets to allow for the return of displaced Palestinians and the passage of aid. Meanwhile, in the second phase of the plan, a permanent ceasefire must be declared before any exchange of captured soldiers could begin, whereas the third stage would involve initiating a reconstruction process in Gaza and lifting Israel's siege on the enclave. It was reported that Israel's war cabinet and the larger security cabinet were to meet later on Friday to discuss the proposal which Hamas submitted to international mediators. At least 22 migrants, including 5 children, drowned after a boat capsized off the Turkish coast on Friday. The boat capsized off Gökçeada Island, located in the Aegean Sea, off the coast of the northwestern province of Kanakkale, near Greece's Lemnos Island. The victims' nationalities are still unknown, however. Officials said 2 people were rescued by the Turkish Coast Guard and another 2 managed to make it out of the water on their own. According to authorities, search and rescue operations was backed by 1 aeroplane, 2 helicopters, 1 drone, 18 boats and 502 personnel. They added that heightened migrant activity in waters between Turkey and Greece have been reported in recent weeks, with the Turkish Coast Guard indicating that it had rescued or intercepted several hundred migrants, including children attempting to cross to Greece. Devastating storms pounded 3 central U.S. states on Thursday night, spawning massive tornadoes, including one that hit a trailer park in Indiana and killed 3 people. The National Weather Service said more than 13 million people in the central United States were under tornado watches when the storm system extended beyond Indiana, impacting northern Kentucky and central Ohio. 3 people died in a mobile home park in Winchester, Indiana, when the suspected tornado hit at about 8 p.m. local time. According to authorities, more injuries or deaths could be confirmed as the day progresses, as rescue officials search through damaged homes and flattened buildings. Thailand's tourist hotspot, Chiang Mai, was blanketed by hazy smog on Friday, with residents and visitors to the usually picturesque northern city left wheezing in the toxic air. The city topped air monitoring website IQ Air's table of the world's most polluted cities, recording levels of PM 2.5 pollutants. The cancer-causing microparticles were small enough to enter the bloodstream through the lungs and were classified as very unhealthy, hitting more than 35 times the World Health Organization's annual guideline. Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin was due to visit the city and is expected to meet with organizations tackling forest fires on Saturday. Rising awareness of the health implications has prompted some action from the government, with Thavisin's cabinet approving a Clean Air Act to tackle the issue in January. Chiang Mai residents, however, said they have yet to receive any help. Up next on Nightline, only 2 Malaysian representatives left in All England. Sports right after this breather. Don't go away.
Apabila datang, ia boleh mengambil alih kesemuanya tubuh, minda dan hidup anda. Stres bukan sekadar tekanan perasaan tetapi boleh mengancam kesihatan secara keseluruhan. Kenalilah tanda-tanda stres sejak awal dan bincang mengenainya secara terbuka. Dapatkan sokongan moral dan emosi daripada orang di sekeliling anda serta bantuan profesional di saluran yang betul. Saksikan Hello Doktor Ahad 5:30 petang di TV3.
Learn strategies for staying ahead in the financial battlefield. Your key insights into finance, money matters every Saturday 5 p.m. only on TV3 and stream now on Tonton.
We're back with sports now. Badminton, the 2024 All England Open Championships. One too many unforced errors saw national women's doubles pair Pearly Tan and Tina fall short in their bid to reach their maiden semi-finals on Friday.
Despite claiming the first set, the world number 15 could not see out the match, succumbing 21-11, 18-21, 18-21 to Japan's world number 11 pair Rina Miyaura Ayako Sakuramoto. The defeat marked Pearly and Tina's second loss to the Japanese duo in 3 meetings. Rina and Ayako will face compatriots Nami Matsuyama, Chiharu Shida in the last 4. In the men's doubles event, Aaron Chia So Woo Yik nearly lost, scraping past Taiwan's lower-ranked Chang Ko-chi Po Li Wei 21-18, 24-22. The duo will next face Indonesia's world number 9 pair, Shoaibul Fikri Bagas Maulana, for a place in the last 4. Aaron Woo Yik hold a clear advantage over the Indonesians, as they have never lost to the latter, winning all 4 of their past encounters.
On to tennis now, the 2024 Indian Wells Open. Daniil Medvedev showcased some of his best tennis by beating Holger Rune in their quarter-final clash on Friday, reaching his first ATP Masters 1000 semi-final since last May.
The 28-year-old Medvedev remained focused throughout the match as he downed 7th seed Rune 7-5, 6-4 in a thrilling 1-hour 59-minute battle. Medvedev will face 17th seed and home favourite Tommy Paul in the last 4. Earlier, Paul played close to his best in the last 8, beating 9th seed Casper Ruud 6-2, 1-6, 6-3 in a match that lasted more than 2 hours. Currently number 14 in the PIF ATP Live rankings, Paul will aim to reach his maiden Masters 1000 final when he faces Medvedev. Joining them was Carlos Alcaraz Garcia. Alcaraz looked back at his best as he swatted aside a swarm of bees and world number 6 Alexander Zverev, winning 6-3, 6-1 in more than 90 minutes. The world number 2 will face Yannick Sinner next in the last 4, who defeated Jiri Lehečka 6-3, 6-3.
In the women's single event, 9th-seeded Maria Sakkari rallied past Emma Navarro 5-7, 6-2, 6-4 in their quarter-finals clash, which lasted nearly 3 hours. The Greek will next play American Coco Gauff in the last 4. Earlier, US champion Gauff served up 17 double faults, but still managed to beat China's Yuan Yu in straight sets, winning 6-4, 6-3. Gauff became the youngest US woman to reach the semi-finals since Serena Williams in 2001. In another match, world number 1 Iga Swiatek reached the last 4 after Caroline Wozniacki had to retire due to injury. The Polish claimed the first set 6-4 before Wozniacki had to quit at the opening of the second set due to right foot issue. Swiatek will face Marta Kostyuk of Ukraine for a place in the final.
Coming up next, ex-Army Corporal charged with 15 counts of molest. Stay with us.
Jom sambut Ramadan ini melalui rancangan-rancangan penuh ilmu dan hikmah istimewa di TV3. Fir'aun ini ditemui pada tahun 1881, tetapi balutan mayatnya dibuka setelah 5 tahun kemudian.
Saksikan di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Charging the future. With Malaysia setting a bold target to generate 70% of energy from renewables by 2050, how does the renewable energy industry strategize and innovate as it navigates towards achieving this ambitious goal? Money Matters with Managing Director of Gading Kencana Sdn Bhd, Dato Dr. Engineer Muhammad Guntur Mansur Tobing, this Saturday at 5 p.m. on TV3 and stream on Tonton.
Welcome back. In Malacca, a former army corporal pleaded not guilty in the Ayakro Magistrates Court on Friday to 15 charges of molesting a male soldier and 2 counts of causing injury to the same victim. 36-year-old Muhammad Amanah Habibullah claimed trial when the charges were read to him before Magistrate Syahda Shina Muhammad Sulaiman, who later set April 30th for case mention. The accused was charged with using criminal force with intent to molest the 20-year-old private in a room at Camp Terenda in Sungai Udang between August 25th and October 14th last year. The offence under the Penal Code provides imprisonment for up to 10 years or a fine or whipping or any 2 of the punishments upon conviction. Additionally, Muhammad Amanah was also charged under the same code with voluntarily causing hurt to the victim at the same location on October 15th and 16th last year. He faces imprisonment for up to 2 years if found guilty for the offence. The magistrate then set bail at 11,000 ringgit with 2 local shorties and also ordered him to report himself at a police station once a month and not to contact or go near the victim. 3 company owners, including 2 with the Datuk title, have been remanded on suspicion of bribing public officials over a 5-year period to avoid taking action against a smuggling syndicate. A 1-day remand order was obtained for the 2 Datuks, while the other suspect was remanded for 3 days to assist investigations into the case by the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC. According to a source, the trio was suspected of bribing civil servants to turn a blind eye to the smuggling of cigarettes and alcohol into the country, spanning from 2018 until 2023. They were arrested at the MACC's headquarters in Putrajaya on Thursday night when they were called in to provide their statements to the authorities. The suspects, all in their 30s, were part of a targeted operation initiated by the MACC's Anti-Money Laundering Division, along with the Inland Revenue Board and Bank Negara Malaysia. On Monday, it was reported that 8 people, including 4 civil servants, were nabbed for alleged collusion with the syndicate smuggling cigarettes and alcohol into the country. Assets worth nearly 6 million ringgit were also seized, while 237 bank accounts containing about 12 million ringgit were frozen. MACC's Anti-Money Laundering Division Director, Datuk Muhammad Zamri Zainul Abidin, confirmed the arrests of the 3 company owners, adding that the case was being investigated under the MACC Act for bribery. Over in Selangor, an elderly woman died while her husband suffered breathing difficulties in a fire that destroyed 2 terraced houses in USJ4 Subang Jaya early Friday morning. Subang Fire and Rescue Station Commander Shamsul Abidin said they received an emergency call regarding the incident at 1:15 a.m. He added that fire engines from Subang and Puchong fire stations were immediately dispatched to the scene. Upon arrival, it was discovered that approximately 60% of the houses, along with the vehicle, were engulfed in flames. The married couple involved are locals in their 70s. The woman was successfully rescued by firefighters but was confirmed dead by healthcare personnel. The blaze was brought under control at about 1:40 a.m. and the deceased was taken to the Sungai Buloh Hospital for post-mortem. As we wrap up Nightline this time around, we take a look at Rio de Janeiro's Copacabana Palace Luxury Hotels opening on Thursday, showcasing a unique design by French artist Daniel Buren. The emblematic hotel's windows facing the iconic Brazilian beach were covered with yellow, blue, pink, green and red vinyl to play with the exterior light and interior light, making it a 24-hour artwork. With that, I'm Anita. Thank you for tuning in, and to all our Muslim viewers, Selamat Bersahur.